I'm Gerald Bentley. Welcome into Wrestling Spotlight right here on True TV Plus. If you need to download the app, you can download it and see it on every TV you have. Every app store is available. Amazon, Roku, Apple, Android, Google Chromecast. We're going to talk about and take a close-up look at Show Me State Wrestling. It's one of the new promotions that is available on the Wrestling Spotlight channel. And we're joined by a man who has just become part of the Show Me State Wrestling roster. Slammer, thanks for joining us here. I know people are familiar with you from the area, from the Missouri area.
I try to keep myself out there, brother.
Yeah. So what brought you to Show Me State Wrestling? It's a new territory to the channel. What should our viewers know about Show Me State Wrestling and what they're bringing to the Wrestling Spotlight and bringing to the wrestling world, period?
Well, that's run by Gordon Atkins and Jeremy Harrison. They're guys I got to know from New Breed Wrestling. I wrestle out there all the time for the last couple of years. Gordon was the referee and Jeremy worked the timekeeping table, and just they did all kinds of the inner workings and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I knew, let's see, I guess, what is this? This is July. So I guess March is when they actually launched Show Me State Wrestling. And this is the first time, August the 3rd, Saturday, August 3rd, they're in Jefferson City. I'll make my debut. They asked me to come in, and I actually did a meet and greet with them at a kids fest in Jefferson City about 5-6 weeks ago, I guess. And me, Bert Candy, and Tobias Storm, we stood out there for 4 hours and posed and took pictures with kids and fans for 4 hours. Man, it was an awesome time getting the word out about Show Me State Wrestling. And I know they've had a couple of good events so far, and getting stuff on TV up there around the Jefferson City area. And man, I'm excited to be a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, just getting ready. We got the Show Me State Heavyweight Championship coming up here, which going to be a coveted title in this Central States area, because there's
not only is it coveted, lots of room for growth, man. If you haven't seen that belt yet, man, they got a really sweet looking belt. A lot of stuff on it representing Missouri, even like the state birds on it, the state flag. It's a cool belt. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but if you need to check that out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and coming up with Astonishing Austin Milalo and El Diablo.
Yeah,
going at it. Tell me a little bit about those guys. What's your scouting report for when you get ready to go at the title?
What's my scouting report? Buddy, I tell you what, I come in just full-fledged, full of energy, man. I always got the crowd behind me. I got everybody fired up and ready to go. And I just go out there and give that guy, bunch of strikes here and there, man. Body slams, suplexes, big atomic drop, and I always finish them off with a big boot in the leg drop. Atomic leg drop.
Classic.
So all these guys that Show Me State Wrestling, man, they better be ready.
There you go. Does it matter to you? Does it matter to you who the champion is? I know you've been a champion in multiple territories over the years. Does it matter to you who is the champion, or are they just next?
They're just next, man. It's whoever's in my way. I'll come mow them down.
Now, how do you feel just given this time in the pro wrestling world? Because man, it seems to be on fire, and territories everywhere are showing some great crowds, great intensity, and terrific action. What do you think it is that's made wrestling so huge right now at this time?
Man, I tell you what, it's in the last few years, there's just so many promotions pop up everywhere. There's so many good wrestlers out there just trying to climb their way to the top. It's I lost train of thought there. I got so excited.
Uh-huh.
Say that again. I lost track of the question.
What do you think has made this renaissance of pro wrestling happen? What do you think the factors are? Because it's just on fire.
I just think oh man, I don't know. I don't know the exact reason why, but I think wrestling's just so much more mainstay than it was back in the day. Back in the day, I mean, like when I was a kid in school, wrestling wasn't cool. I thought it was cool and I loved wrestling, but you know, you liked that people would make fun of you or whatever. And now, you know, I've got friends on Facebook and stuff now. It's like, they think it's cool that I wrestle and, oh man, you know who Hulk Hogan is and all this. And it's like, and now all of a sudden it's like the cool thing. It's like, well, I tell you, when Stone Cold got hot, that's when the business really took off. I mean, wrestling was popular in the 80s and beyond, but man, once Stone Cold took over, man, it's just like a whole different realm of people just started gravitating toward wrestling, which makes a whole lot more fans. And man, people just love wrestling now. And man, I go and wrestle all over the place. And I wrestle down in St. Louis, man, at the old historic South Broadway Athletic Club, man. We got that place packed with 600 plus people every month. And people love wrestling, man. And it's exciting. We just wrestled at New Breed up in Camdenton about a month ago, outdoor show with big softball tournament, man. There were thousands of people and kids there, man. It was insane. Just people love wrestling. It's cool.
Yeah, and you're getting so much activity. I mean, the St. Louis market, now Jefferson City with you guys, World League Wrestling coming out of Eldon with the Harley Race Academy. Got Central States, got Fountain City Pro up here in Kansas City. I mean, I think it's really, really picking up to where we're getting back to kind of what the old Central States was when the NWA had a territory here.
Yeah. I mean, you almost can't spit without hitting a wrestling organization around Missouri anymore. I mean, it's pretty much covered everywhere. And, you know, Illinois, I mean, just so much wrestling. Tennessee, Arkansas. Oh, I mean, it's crazy. I never get a chance to get out towards Kansas City and Oklahoma, but I know there's a lot of wrestling out there. I've been asked a few times. I have a time window on the weekends. I can only get out so far because of my UPS job through the week. It's, you know, Saturday comes along. It's like, man, about 4 hours is about my limit on how far I'm going to travel. So, but yeah, there's so much good wrestling all over the place right now.
Well, I like the backdrop. You got some vintage WWF figures back there.
Oh yeah, this whole room. This is my wrestling collection. I've collected stuff since I was a little kid. I'm a big time action figure collector. That's my main wall there. It's got all my oldest stuff on there from back in the day. I've got, and it's only wrestling stuff in here. There's nothing else. It's just straight up all wrestling stuff. I've got action figures. I've got magazines. I've got old magazines, posters. I've got all the Slammer souvenirs, man. I got everything in this place. Just wrestling. People, if anybody comes over to the house and they come in here, it's one thing to see it on screen like it is now, but when anybody steps in here, even if they're not a big wrestling fan, if we just have company over and they want to see what I have in here, even if they don't know anything about wrestling, there is somebody on this wall that they'll say, I know who that is. But somebody will come in here and just stand and they'll be ready to walk out and they'll just see something else. And it's like, I just sit here all the time. I just sit here and look at one action figure. It just takes me back to a time and a place, and just, it's wonderful.
Yeah. And that's a great collection. I can tell you got I believe that's a WCW Ric Flair up over your shoulder. Everything's mint on card. I don't
open stuff. I mean, I got some old loose stuff that I've just kind of acquired here and there, but yeah, everything mint on card. I just like the old Hasbro's and stuff, and they're bringing that kind of stuff back, like the Mattel retro figures, and that's my thing, man. I love the old stuff. I like '90s wrestling and just some really neat stuff.
No, that's awesome. So you've been in it. You've been in it pretty much straight through, right? How long have you been? How long have you been wrestling in the ring now?
I've been in the ring. I started working at UPS. It kind of took my life over. I've been at UPS for 21 years, and right before that, that was 2003. I think 2002 would have been like the last time I worked in a ring with some people. And I'd done a little bit of stuff here and there prior to that. But from 2003 to 2016, I did nothing. I owned a gym for 7 years on top of working at UPS. I shut the gym down, and just a couple of months after I shut the gym down, a guy showed up about 30 miles away from me that got a wrestling ring and opened a school up. Supposedly he was trained. He had wrestled. I knew there was a wrestling ring. I started showing up, getting back in the ring. It was very unorganized wrestling. I guess it's what you would call an outlaw school or whatever. Very unorganized, not structured. But it got me a chance to get in there, take some bumps, do some things. And so that was getting back into it. We did that for about a year. And that guy, he just ended up going away. Who knows where he ended up at. And then I ended up Cape Championship Wrestling down in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. They had just started up. They hadn't been going too long. And I did a seminar with Jerry Lynn down there. And I told the guys that run it, I was like, man, it'd be awesome if you guys had something going down here. I just need somewhere to train, And it wasn't too long after that, they started a thing where you could just show up, set the ring up, train, do whatever needed to be done, take the ring down. So my Saturdays were once a month were consumed with that for well over a year. And then March 2019, I started getting on the card regularly there once a month. And then, of course, 2020, COVID happened. That's about the time that's when I was going to start branching out and going to some different places. So 2021, that's when New Breed came along and started wrestling there. And I wrestled a place in Arkansas and Illinois. And then 2022 came along. I started wrestling up at MMWA. So I'm pretty much a mainstay at MMWA, New Breed. I'm getting ready to start, of course, at Show Me State Wrestling here next week. I'm wrestling American Hostile Championship Wrestling. I'll be there next week down in the Boot Hill, down in Crothersville. So starting to branch out again some more. Just some other places been asking me to come in. Thing is, Saturdays, a lot of places are booked on the same night that I'm booked. So I try to get out as much as I can, do all that I can, trying to spread the gospel of Slammermania and running wild, man.
Yeah. No, I love it. And yeah, you can only be in so many places at one time, right?
Yeah. That's like next Friday night, I'm going to wrestle in a tournament down in Crothersville. Then I got to be in Jefferson City by 10 o'clock Saturday morning. So Crothersville's like 3 hours away from me. So by the time I get home, it's probably going to be midnight. Then I have to get up and probably be on the road by 6 a.m. because it's 3 hours of Jefferson City for me. So we got the television taping there. I'll probably be there until probably at least 3 o'clock. And I actually had another company ask me if I wanted to wrestle in Pacific, Missouri, which is just outside of St. Louis. And I actually probably could have made it, but probably 4 or 5 matches. That probably would have been my 5th match or so in a 24-hour period. I just don't think I couldn't make his call time anyway. I told him, I was like, he needed me there by 4. And I'm like, I just don't think I can make it by 4. But I think 4 matches is probably going to be plenty in those 2 days.
Yeah. Well, I love the passion, because I think that's something that's present in all of the territories that you can watch here in Wrestling Spotlight. If it's Glory Pro, if it's Southern Illinois Championship, Fountain City Pro, Pro South, POW, UPW. I mean, they all bring that excitement, that love of the game to it, and you really exemplify it. I mean, from your background to your story. I mean, I think that's something that fans can really grab a hold of.
Man, I've taken a hold of social media, man. This is me. I'm crazy. I'm just this is me all the time, man. I love to get out there. I love to be in front of the fans and get that energy back to me that I give out to them. And it's usually pretty crazy, man. I love getting out there and doing my thing. It's crazy.
Well, and if you haven't been to a local wrestling show since COVID, you need to make the effort to get out to one, because you do have that energy and it's so relatable and you're so close.
Man, I tell you what, COVID just really hurt a lot of places. I mean, I've seen attendances really drop right after that. And I feel like it's starting to pick back up in some places where it had dropped off. And man, I'm looking forward to, like, next week we'll be up there in Jefferson City. Man, I'm looking forward to some familiar faces will be there to see me. Hopefully some new faces, train some new Slammer Maniacs to come out. And man, it's going to be awesome. Get a good thing going up there. I'm really excited about it. And they're excited.
The kids get so excited. You're right there. You're in the action. And this is nothing against WWE. It's nothing against AEW. They're great too. It's a different feel, because then you're in a big arena or you're in a stadium. When you're in a local, like South Broadway Athletic Club, that's tremendous.
Oh, yeah.
You're in that,
man, I tell you what,
small atmosphere, man. It just feels like it's meant to be there.
Oh man, when you get out there in the ring and you're just surrounded by fans everywhere, it's unlike anything else that you could ever imagine. It just makes you work harder. It just makes things so much better. I mean, you wrestle. I mean, if there's 25 people or 600 there, you give it everything that you got. But man, when there's a ton of people out there and they're yelling and screaming from bell to bell, man, there's just not a feeling like it in the world, man. It's super cool.
Well, and it's like Cody Rhodes' song, right? Do it all to get them off their feet. You're excited. You're waiting for the bell to ring, the curtain to go up. I mean, it is that adrenaline.
I come out there, man. I do everything and anything I can. I'm getting them fans on their feet and ready. I'm as excited to see them as they are as excited to see me or any wrestling, and I want them to have a good time. And if you're coming to see Slammer, you're gonna be glad to see me.
Gonna be entertained.
You're gonna be entertained.
And speaking of entertaining, I mean, if you've been watching Show Me State Wrestling, Ace Hawkins being stalked, I guess you'd say, by Superstar Steve, a guy who's well known in the Missouri area.
I've wrestled Superstar Steve, man. I was the TV champion up at New Breed Wrestling, and in the 2022, this is 2024. So I've been there over 2 years now. I've only suffered 2 losses at New Breed Wrestling. I lost my PopCon title the first time, which I'm the PopCon champion again now. I lost it once, and my other match I lost the TV title to Superstar Steve. Probably, I look at that match all the time. Just one of the best matches I ever had. Steve's awesome. He can work, man. He's something. And Ace, I've known Ace for a while too. I've never been in the ring with him, but I've been in the locker room with him, and he got his hands full, man, with Superstar Steve. So them two locking up be worth watching.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of development here. Show Me State Wrestling's getting going. They're getting rolling, and as you go, you're going to see these personalities coming out, and everybody kind of knows each other. So
yeah,
there's going to be some tensions that'll be simmering.
Yeah, I hope the fans are really getting involved with it, watching. I hope they decide that, come down and be a part of the events and the TV tapings that they got taking place. Because there's nothing like, it's one thing to watch it on TV, man. There's something special about being there live watching wrestling. It's a different beast. Just like going to a professional football game, you can watch it on TV, man. You get there live, it's like, whoa, this is awesome.
Yeah, the actual impact, the contacts, the moves. I mean, everything is louder, everything feels harder, and like I said, you're so close. You really do kind of feel it.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, hey, you've mentioned the social media. Where can people get in touch with you? Where can they get a little hit of Slammer Mania?
Man, I am literally everywhere. And if you get on, we'll start with Facebook. Facebook, Chris Slammer is my just regular page. You can add me as a friend on there, follow whatever you want to do. I have a Slammer fan page. Go follow that and like it. I do a show every Tuesday night. Me and a buddy of mine, we do the Bro Show on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central. We talk about my adventures in the world of independent wrestling. Just like the other night, we talked about our road trip to see Hulk Hogan. We do an hour show, lots of fun stuff. We'll show what we may have picked up, toy-wise, action figure-wise, anything wrestling.
Sure.
A lot of fun stuff, a lot of fun chitter-chatter. So we do that. I am on Instagram, Chris_Slammer. Let me look at my thing here real quick. X, Twitter, at MaxGym, MacsGym. I am on YouTube, Slammer 4878. Get on there, man. You can see all the little videos I make. All of my wrestling matches are on there. So if there's some promoter out here thinking, man, I got to take a look at this Slammer guy. I tell you what, man, I may not do all the flippy cool moves that a lot of people do, but my style is a whole lot different than everybody else's. It's that old late 80s, early 90s. I'm just going in there body slamming people, and it's awesome. I am on TikTok at Slammer Mania. Get on there, man. I'm making some cool videos and stuff. And if you go on Pro Wrestling Tees, prowrestlingtees.com/slammer, that'll take you directly to my store, and it will get you a Slammer tee. You get a Slammer t-shirt there. I'm going to have some more designs put on there. I've sold enough that I can have all the designs that I want on there. I need to get some more stuff on there. So
sure.
I think that covers all of my stuff there. So
well, hey, let's go to the champions round. We got the Wrestling Spotlight title here. Just want to ask you a few quick questions as we wind down the show here on Wrestling Spotlight. We're talking to Slammer. He's debuting in Show Me State Wrestling. You can watch Show Me State Wrestling right here on the channel, on the Wrestling Spotlight. So definitely download that True TV Plus app so you can see it. You can also see it on sports.tv and Carbon TV. So Slammer, let me ask you, I think I have an idea. What wrestler influenced you the most?
Let's see. That's pretty tough for me to figure out. Of course, it was Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan's been my favorite wrestler since I was a little kid. And I got to tell him this too. I told him this at I was down at his hangout back in October.
Yeah.
And I've actually been to his shop several times. I've got to spend some time with him several different times now over the years. And I just, I told him, I'm like, man, I'm just your local little indie wrestler. I train, say my prayers, eat my vitamins. You told me to do that when I was a little kid, and I'm running with that. I'm preaching the gospel, training, prayers, vitamins. And he thinks that, he told me, he's like, man, that's really, because I told him, I'm like, you think nobody ever took your advice and did it. Just remember, this crazy Hulkamaniac did it. And he said, man, that is so cool. And I really appreciate you, brother. And that was just cool to get to tell him that. I'm a disciple of the training, prayers, and vitamins. So, Hulk Hogan's my favorite, and he's awesome.
Good enough. That's a good one. What pro wrestling do you watch now?
What do I watch?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm WWF, WWE. That's what I've watched my whole life. I'll always be a WWF person. I still call it WWF. That's what it will always be. It's getting better. It went through its time where it wasn't very good. I like AEW. I like it just fine. I want all wrestling to succeed. I don't think AEW is the greatest thing in the world. I still watch it, and it'll get better. They can, get in there and fix the stuff that needs to be fixed. TNA wrestling's really hot and strong right now. And of course, there's all the local indie wrestling. I'm out there all the time, man. If people want to come out and watch me, I'm all over the place. If you get on my social medias, you can see I promote everywhere I'm going to be at and every promotion. And just like Show Me State Wrestling next week, man, August 3rd. It's going to be awesome. Come out there and watch me give somebody the big boot and leg drop, and you'll go home happy. Send them home happy. Slammer sends them home happy.
There we go. And I was going to ask you, what's the biggest goal you have coming up as we head into the fall?
Head into the fall, man. I want to wrestle everywhere. I want to do as much as I can. Still holding out that dream, man. I need to get on Monday Night Raw one time. It's just bucket list dream, man. I just somehow I got to get on Monday Night Raw and be in some sort of match. It'd be cool to be like, if you get on there to be security or something, but it would be cool to just get to be on TV and just get that 2 seconds of getting creamed or whatever, and just say, man, I wrestled on Monday Night Raw. That's the ultimate dream.
It would be awesome. We need to get you hooked up with the Outrunners.
I see. You know what? That's funny. I'd heard of them, but I seen them on. I think they was on AEW. Was it last week? And I thought, my gosh, these guys are right up my alley, man.
Well, and they've been wrestling in Glory Pro. You can see them on the channel. So we're getting close. Well, I mean, they're literally in the same building, South Broadway Athletic Club. So
I've seen those guys. I'm like, I see long hair, flexing, tans. It's like, man, these are my brothers from another mother, apparently. So
absolutely. I mean, you guys are made for each other. Well, Slammer, thanks a lot for joining us here on Wrestling Spotlight. Man, appreciate having you on, and best of luck. Keep saying those prayers, taking the vitamins, working out, and
always, man, train, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, believe in Slammer. Come watch me wrestle. Come watch Show Me State Wrestling. Watch all the wrestling on your station. It's awesome, man. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. It's a good time to be a wrestler.
Absolutely awesome. Thanks for joining us here, and we're pushing for Slammer Mania to go running wild in Show Me State Wrestling.
Running wild, brother. It's awesome.